Trying to decide whether to memorize or understand whatever you are studying at any point in time is always very problematic. I could remember when we were in primary school, we've been compelled to memorize multiplication table, facts and dates, and this has become habitual construct to the extent that anytime we are trying to study at any point in time, we tend to fall into the trap of memorization. Before I show you the step-by-step process to understand rather than memorizing anything you are trying to read at any point in time, there's always a misconception between students and even teachers about the real meaning of these following concepts. And these following concepts are memorization, cramming, and actually understanding what you are reading. So on this video, I'm going to be breaking down the actual meaning of each of these concepts. The meaning that I'll be breaking down will actually serve as a foundational part in order for you to understand instead of memorizing anything you want to read at any point in time. Memorization is just simply committing something to memory or learning by heart, which can also be referred to as rote learning. And cramming is studying intensively over a very short period of time just before your exam. And to understand simply means to perceive the intended meaning of words or language, and it also means to comprehend, take in, or interpret whatever you are trying to read at any point in time. Now, the fact that you understand something doesn't mean you memorized it, and the fact that you memorize something doesn't mean you understand it. Memorization and understanding whatever you are trying to read at any point in time can be done by any student depending on what you are trying to read at any point in time or what you want to achieve from what you are reading. Then how can you understand rather than memorize anything you are reading at any point in time? There are several steps that I'll be pointing to you in today's video, and the 3 points are elaboration, reflection, and generation. So I'll be explaining each of these points. Now, what is elaboration? Elaboration is simply finding additional layers of meaning to any material you are trying to read at any point in time, and it includes relating to what you are reading to what you've already known before, writing what you are reading at any particular time in your own words, and relating what you are reading at any particular time to real life experience. I'll be using a topic in economics to explain, so you can apply it to any other concepts in any subject you are doing at any point in time. So for example, if you are trying to understand a particular concept in economics, take for example market structure. Now, this market structure has different subtopics, which is the perfect markets, monopoly, oligopolistic competition, and monopolistic competition. Now, reading all these concepts are theories, but now any facts you read at any point in time, you can relate it to what you already know before by connecting it to real life example. For example, average cost and price. You can relate it to what is happening in the market itself. And when you are connecting it to what is happening in the market and you are reading it in theory, it makes more meaning to you and it makes more sense to you. Then afterwards, then connect it to what you already know before. And market structure is an advanced topic which requires an understanding of costs and production. So if you understand the theory of cost very well and you understand the theory of production accurately, you'll be able to learn market structure. So if you relate it to the knowledge you've gotten in cost and production, it will help you understand what you are trying to learn about market structure at that point in time. And after doing this, you can write what you are reading in your own words instead of actually reading the text only. So if you can write it in your own words and you can derive your own meaning to what you are trying to read, then you've actually understood it. Now, one thing I want you to understand, and it explains more about elaboration, is that learning builds on what you've already known in your previous time on anything you are trying to study at any point in time. All disciplines has layers. We have the basic ones and we have the complex ones. The complex one, we always build on the basic one. So at any point in time, if you don't know the basics and you are trying to read the complex one, that is when problem comes in. And that is when students actually fall into the trap of memorization, because now you are trying to read the complex concepts, and at that point you get confused because there's a particular knowledge gap. You cannot hold it to what you've known before, or you cannot hold it to a particular experience you've had before. And that is when students kind of get confused. So if you know the basics of anything you are trying to read and you are reading the complex one, it makes more meaning to you. The next step you need to take that will help you understand instead of memorizing anything you are trying to read is reflection. Now, reflection has to do with taking time to review what you are reading at any point in time by asking yourself questions. And these are the questions you need to ask yourself. Now, the first question is, what other knowledge or experience does it remind you of? And what do you need to learn to gain better mastery of what you are reading? If you know answers to these particular questions that I stated, it will help you reflect on what you are reading and it will help you understand it more. Now, most students, they just read mindlessly and they just tend to highlight anything you are reading just like that without reflection. Reflection will help you to question what you've read, and it serves as a form of feedback to know whether you actually understand what you are reading. So when you are reading at any point in time, just pause and ask yourself, how can I relate this thing to what I already know before? What experience have I had that can be linked to what I'm reading at any particular time? And what other material can I read to actually add to my understanding of what I'm reading at that particular time? If you can answer these questions perfectly, then it will enhance your understanding. The other step you need to take in order to understand whatever you are trying to read instead of memorization is generation. Generation is the act of solving a particular problem without being shown the solution. Anytime you are trying to learn anything at any point in time, if you try to solve a particular problem without being shown how to do it, it actually solidifies your understanding. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got value. If you got value from these videos, please smash the like button and also subscribe to my channel. And also you can check out this other video on how you can understand any difficult topic at any point in time. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next video.